Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Most Important Conversations meditations. We hold these meditations Monday through Friday. The theme of the meditation is liberation. That is sort of the overarching theme. And we draw the content from the talks that we use at the beginning of each meditation from our primary program, Whole Life Architecture. Whole Life Architecture is a program where it's a live program where participants are creating their life by design as opposed to merely tolerating their life by default. And they go through a rigorous curriculum, and it's an ongoing community because you didn't become who you were today in 3 days or a week or a month. And so it's errant for us to think that we will be able to transform ourselves and create ourselves in a life by design into people and into lives that align with us, our true nature, and then also be able to go back out into the conditioning of our world without it having to affect us. It will affect us. So this is an ongoing community where we support one another, we create together, we learn together. And I'd invite all of you to consider taking a look at it. You can go to TMIC Global for more information. Over the last several weeks, we've been talking about suffering. We've been talking about how we experience suffering as we are the creators of everything in our life. We experience suffering and we create the conditions for our suffering by being beholden to our conditioning, by being attached to how things are supposed to go and absolving ourselves from our innate power as creators. We don't realize that we create the conditions for our suffering, but that we can also create new conditions that align with who we are so that we don't suffer. But instead, most of us merely tolerate our life by default. The devil we know is better than the one that we don't know. And we spend our lives, instead of living as a creator, we live as a consumer of life. We've been taught this. This isn't how you were born. This is just what you've been taught. You've been taught to consume life, to consume ideas, to consume energy, to consume space, to consume and copy what other people are doing, as opposed to generating it from within you, and as opposed to being the creator of your life. And the reason this happens for most of us, as consumers, we can have it all. But the reason this happens to most of us is because we have everything except ourselves. We dare not get close enough to who we authentically are. We are terrified to know ourselves. Even though this is the maxim of all time, Socrates said, "Know thyself." Jesus said, it's harder for a rich man to enter heaven than it is for him to go through the eye of a needle. What do they mean when they say these things? It's the attachments. It's the attachment to having everything and actually having nothing because we don't have ourself. We can acquire all of these things. It says in the Bible, what good does it benefit a man to gain the whole world, but to lose his soul? The soul of you as a human being is accessible when you take on and you acknowledge and you embrace your role as creator. God made man in his image and likeness. What is that? As a creator. It is our conditioning in our society that has us believe we are merely here to consume, to take up space, to take up energy, to take up time, to hoard things and objects and collect people and relationships and make them beholden to ourselves and expect people to be like us, walk like us, talk like us. This is more consumption. The reason we have wars in this world is because one side wants the other side to capitulate to their ideas. That's it. You're either the wrong religion, you believe something different from us. You're the wrong political ideology, you believe something different from us. When you think about it, it's really quite ridiculous. We are wanting to collect people. We are wanting to consume them. And we want them to consume our ideas. And if they don't, we go to war and we kill each other. And it doesn't have to be as dramatic as war on a battlefield. We do that every single day in every single interaction and relationship we have one-on-one. We expect people to be like us. We're very egotistical when we're trapped in our egoic identity. The identity of who we are, what we believe, why we do what we do, all of these things we consume from outside of us and then expect others to emulate us. We're not generating from within. We're not tapped into our essence as a creator. We are trapped in the consumption of all of life. And then we resist, and we hoard, and we protect, and we hedge. And we trap ourselves in a prison of our own making, and then we experience fear. The fear of loss. What if all this goes away? What if it doesn't work? What if they find out who I am? What if I find out who I am and I don't want any of this? We're playing this game with our lives without realizing we're playing a game. We take it so seriously, all of this consumption. And yet none of it has anything to do with us and who we authentically and really are. We don't have access to that because we choose not to. So when you consider as we move into this holiday season, Thanksgiving through Christmas, it's a time for reflection. The new year, which follows, is a time for rebirth. In many spiritual traditions, they talk about being reborn. They talk about being reborn as this experience that one has, a moment of tremendous clarity, a moment of tremendous awareness that awakens. During this period of reflection, as you move into the period of rebirth at the new year, ask yourself, are you living your life by design? A life that aligns with who you are? Or are you simply consuming and collecting more? And I don't just mean things. I don't just mean the obvious. When we think of consumption, we think of consumers, which we're all relegated to, by the way. We have the Consumer Price Index, and we measure consumer behavior. So there's that part of it, the consumption of things. But I'm also talking about consuming ideas. I'm talking about consuming energy. I'm talking about consuming space. Who are you? How much of the you that is you was self-generated? How much of the you that is you and the life that you live was a conscious, present act of your own creation, or how much of it was learned, conditioning from your friends, family, community, and you've just been dragging this around for decades, protecting it, hoarding it, adding to it, defending it, fearful of losing it. How much of your life is your own? We have attained and acquired everything, and yet we don't have ourself. Is 2026 going to be a year where you have yourself, whole and complete, your true self, unaligned self, a self that you look in the mirror and you feel whole and integrated, and you know your life is your own. You've created it, everything in it. You appreciate, you respect, you celebrate. Most of us aren't living lives like that. We've talked about the suffering that we create the conditions for and how it shows up. It shows up as complaint. It shows up as regret. It shows up as shame. These are the experiences and the feelings that we have when we're living a life of conditioning, a life by default, not of our own design. Because we're trying to fit, as the saying goes, a square peg into a round hole. We're trying to fit the conditioning we learned from our friends, family, community into our life. We're trying to fit all the shoulds, the obligations. We're trying to live up to them. You hear people say that all the time. I have to live up to the expectations. What would my parents think? What would my peers think? What will my best friend think? As soon as you stop asking that question, you know you're headed in the right direction. Who cares what they think? Who cares what anyone thinks? Truly. Do you own yourself? We have everything, but we don't have ourself. So this season of reflection, which is the month of December as we move towards the new year, the rebirth. My invitation to you is to reflect on this. Will you have yourself in 2026? Oh, it will mean effort. It will mean discomfort, cleaning up the parts of your life, the parts of yourself that don't align with you. Those could be relationships, those could be certain people in your life that they've just always been there, friends, acquaintances, maybe even family members who don't align with you. You have to get real honest about why you are in the service of spending so much time with people that don't align with you. Well, I mean, we say we become like the 5 people we spend the most time with. We say these things, and yet we then keep doing it. We keep spending time with people who don't align with us and wonder why we feel trapped. It might be habits in your life, the effort and the discomfort you'll go through to unwind those habits, those habitual behaviors that all too familiar provide comfort, but not aliveness, not thriving. It may be your health. Maybe you've put it off for too long now. You've gotten sucked into the consumerism of refined foods and eating out and not having control over your diet, or not exercising, or not sleeping well because of stress, your stressed in your life. Why are you stressed? If you're living a whole and complete and aligned life, you should have no stress. You should own yourself and have no stress that's available to you. We have stress when we're out of alignment. We have what we call negative feelings. Although there's no such thing, we call them negative because they feel bad. We experience that, and that's our higher self trying to warn us, tell us you're out of alignment, you're living a life that is incongruent with who you are in these areas. So maybe it's your health. Maybe it's how you make your money that needs a rebirth that you need to reflect on. Your career. Are you engaged in activities and in terms of how you make your money that make you feel alive? Or are you just doing it for the money? You know, we're going through an economic transformation right now. There's an enormous opportunity for every single one of us to give deep consideration to how we make our money. Because we can literally recreate and reinvent that right now because of artificial intelligence, the emergence of robotics, automation. Everything is going to change. If there is ever an opportunity in time for you to rethink how you made your money or how you make it, it's now. We actually have a program that we're starting up in mid-January called Business by Design for those of you who are employees and are concerned about being let go from your job because of AI and automation, or maybe you're already a small business owner, but you want to make sure that you stay caught up and aligned with the direction of all this change. How do you implement AI into your business wherever you are, an employee or an entrepreneur? This program might be something you want to take a look at, which is at TMIC Global. But there's others out there. Don't let 2026 be the year where you just keep doing the same unaligned, uninspired, unalive, unthriving job. Whether it's your own career that you went to school for, or whether it's your own business that you've developed. If it's out of alignment, it's out of alignment. Now's the chance, now's the opportunity, now's the time to rebirth it. We have the whole world, but we don't have ourself. The invitation as we move into our meditation this morning and as we move into this period of reflection in the new year is to own yourself once and finally for all. Let 2026 be the year you come home to yourself and live a life by design of your own creation that is aligned with the authentic essence of who you are. In order for that to happen, you need to know who you are. Again, this is an invitation to check out Whole Life Architecture, where you will journey with others who are on that quest. I'm going to invite Mignon now to join us for our meditation this morning. And just in closing, again, I invite you to take this opportunity of this period of reflection and rebirth. Make 2026 the year you own yourself. Mignon, please join us.
All right. Thank you so much, Chad. And good morning, everyone. Today's neural sculpting meditation explores personal space and emotions. And along the journey, I'll be offering cues, toggles, and creative imagery. So you might hear me spell out words or dial up or down, or invite playful or even bizarre imaginings, all intentionally designed using the 5-step neural sculpting meditation process. It's a process that helps to calm the nervous system. It primes the brain for creating supportive ideas and gives you agency in how you move through life. And I've found that practicing the same meditation can be supportive in helping to reinforce desired outcomes and create lasting shifts over time. I hope it serves you in a good way. So let's begin. Together, we'll go on a little meditation journey to noticing a space that belongs to us, but is not of us, a space just outside of our own bodies. And we will start first by saying hello to your body in this moment, wiggling out any tension, rolling out wrists or ankles, or giving the body a gentle stretch wherever that might feel good. And you might like to find a comfortable seat, or perhaps you prefer to lie down, adjusting your environment to support you however you like. You are welcome to gently close your eyes if that's comfortable to you. And your thoughts can be focused or scattered, but your body is right here in one place, waiting to respond to your mind. So, what if you could notice at this time which parts of your body would like a little permission to let go and relax a little more, so that you sink your weight into the cushion or mattress or ground just a bit further. And as an observer, what is your breath doing? You might start to become aware of the first moment you notice your inhale. Is that at your nose? Is that in your belly or your lungs? And that is just one point along the journey of your inhale. So, could you expand that awareness? Could you follow your next inhale just a bit further, noticing how it travels, how it moves down through the body? And gently follow the path of your next exhale, allowing your mind to follow the journey of the exhale as you breathe out and into the room, the way your breath disperses into the air around you. So many parts of the breath we can notice if we just took the time. You might even elongate both your exhale and your inhale so you could notice even more. Maybe you notice the temperature of your breath. Maybe you notice the texture. Where is it smooth? And even though you're aware of it now, your breath is constantly supporting you in all moments. As it gets deeper and longer, slower, your body is invited to get heavier, more and more comfortable, naturally resting. Breath is breathing itself, and perhaps your mind is ready to think of other things. So we can invite it to be creative. how would it be for your creative mind to imagine being a sea turtle that has lived for over 100 years, maybe born on a coastal shoreline, racing toward the water as a tiny hatchling, then swimming far and wide across the open ocean year after year, and returning to the very same beach where your life began. How would it feel to imagine having that kind of natural compass? Or maybe it's more intriguing to imagine if you could be a can of soda. Would you be a super sweet classic beverage, or maybe a light, sparkly fruit seltzer? Imagine how it might feel to have all those bubbles snapping, popping, and fizzing, rising, constantly moving. How would it feel to be opened with a soft hiss and poured into a glass, quenching someone's thirst with your refreshing effervescence? How amazing that the creative mind can think of anything it wants while your breath and body remain supported. I would invite you to remember your own agency. You're the author of a space around you that often feels like it belongs to you. Your personal space, your bubble. So I wonder if you might bring your awareness in this particular moment to imagining how far your personal space extends beyond the body. Is it 3 inches, 6, 8, 12, 20? Is it a mile, a kilometer? You might perceive this space. You might perceive or imagine the perimeter of this space. That space, the one that marks this as yours. Perhaps there's a color that feels especially wonderful, a hue that feels rich, warm, or soothing, a color that you can use to illuminate the perimeter so that you are able to imagine exactly where it is. Is the boundary of your very own bubble turquoise or neon green, silver, or some other color? What is its texture? Plush, velvety, perhaps smooth. And just because you can, what would it be like to pull that bubble tight in around you, shrinking it close around you, reducing your personal space? Does that appeal to you or make you feel uncomfortable? You get to notice. And you might notice changes in your body or breath as you do this. Or what if you could extend it further than you knew possible so that the perimeter travels far and your personal space is enormous? How does your mind describe that for yourself? And sometimes our personal space feels too much, too crowded, too heavy. So as if there was a trap door at the bottom of this bubble, and as if anything, a color, a shape, or density could be released if you wanted to. How much would you release out of the bubble, out of the trap door, so that your bubble was buoyant and comfortable? You might even notice the space within your bubble, the space above you, behind you, and below you as you tend to your bubble. Breath is breathing itself. Your mind is shifting your personal space. And sometimes we even project our uncomfortable emotions and negative beliefs into our space. And that happens, and it's okay because this is your space. And you are invited to notice these emotions, and you might gain insight and learn from them. Get an understanding of how your nervous system is doing according to sensation. So, if you could bring to mind one of the fears or emotions you would like to shift and soften, what comes to mind for you? And if you could imagine it taking on a shape or a color, what do you notice? Maybe you see it floating near you or around your personal space or sticking to your bubble. Just notice what begins to appear. Are you projecting this fear or challenging emotion in small little ways? Or are you filling your own personal space with this message so it becomes a cloud around you, as if advertising those vibes? But because your body is supported and your breath can go as deep as you like, you can use creative mind to release this color, shape, texture, vibration right out of your bubble through that trap door you may have created. And because you are making space in the way you perceive your bubble, you might like to take this moment to bring to mind an aspect of yourself you would like to advertise or cultivate or immerse yourself in. Maybe your mission. What words come to mind? Patience, confidence, success, compassion, or something else. If these words had a vibration or color, what would that be? Is it luminescent or glowing or bright? And what if you could fill your bubble with this, like an artist painting a canvas with your paintbrush, illuminating and tuning the space around your body with each stroke and breath? And as all of this is unfolding in your inner landscape, your body is responding. So if you could ask or observe where in your body you are responding, what do you notice? Maybe there is a sensation or an imaginary location that you settle into. Maybe there's a texture Maybe your body wants to move. Whatever you notice, this is your body responding to your mind. And no matter how great or small that response, real, felt, or imaginary, you are welcome to settle into that, giving it a felt sense and embodied motion by placing your non-dominant hand on the part of you responding. Or you might prefer a hand gesture, an activation gesture that you can make tomorrow that can help you come back to your personal space and remember this. If you could create an activation word or phrase or mantra that could best remind you of all of this tomorrow, what is that? Could you even imagine writing it in your own handwriting on the bubble in iridescent gold? And you can invite your own bubble to just be there behind the scenes as your breath is always there, behind the scenes, serving you, supporting you. You can start to notice your body in present time. Until you're ready to end your meditation. Be well.